Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Tonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown, Dunkirk, and Westfield, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County.
The Chautauqua Center.
Are you looking for affordable medical, dental, or counseling services? The Chautauqua Center is always accepting new patients at their Jamestown and Dunkirk locations. They offer discounted prescriptions and accept all insurances. From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Doc Hamels, and welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. We got another great show in store for you today, so probably you're going nowhere, you have nobody coming over, you have nothing better to do, stick around. But if you can't stick for the whole show, as it's ending right now, what do we do here? Stick around if you can't stick around. Oh dear. If you can't stick around, you can catch the show later on at 2 and 8, and we're on YouTube forever and ever and ever. Okay, so anyways, good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to say hello to the world. As you know, we stream live, and we've had people check on the show across 3 or 4 continents now. So I want to say good morning. Hello, world. Hope you're doing well, and I know that this pandemic is changing all of our lives in every aspect. We were talking about it before the show, and hang in there. We're doing okay. We're getting there. So we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a minute. I want to say good afternoon to all of our listeners on WRFA 107.9, low power to the people. That's my radio voice. And glad you could join us here in Jamestown area. And once again, what we have in store for you today is something you can use as well coming up. Well, folks, I don't know about you. I'm retired, and yet, generally speaking, I don't know what day it is. My cousin told me when I retired every day was going to be Saturday, and he was pretty much right. The only trouble is now I don't know what season it is. Every time I think it's spring, it feels like summer. Then it's not summer, it feels like winter. Then it's spring, then it's winter, and I'm so confused. The dog's loving it though. Brody, he loves snows. He's a Tibetan Terrier, and he was raised for snow country. But holy mackerel, let's get on with it, will you? I can't wait to start planting some vegetables and things like that, and I started a raised garden this year. I got it all built, and I got wire, and those rabbits won't get in there, or the deer. And so I'm looking forward to a great growing season. I'll keep busy during this period of time, don't we? Okay, I want to share with you the fact that is we don't have a lot of announcements, and we do have one I'm going to make in a little bit. But in light of the fact that there's not a lot going on right now, why don't you call in and wish somebody happy birthday, or say, hey, neighbor next door, I haven't seen you in a while, you doing okay? Or it's somebody's anniversary. So 716-753-5225, call in. It's okay. Don't be shy. Or if you're terribly shy, you don't want to hear your voice on TV, Randy's on the other end. He'll take the information, write it down, and we'll make that announcement. But gosh, let's communicate with each other. This is your live show here in Chautauqua County. There is no other live show that I'm aware of, and we're happy to do that for you. And speaking of something special, I want to wish my youngest son, Justin, sometimes known as Guido. It's true, that's his nickname. I didn't make this up. He was given that years ago. He's 35. His birthday was yesterday, and happy birthday, Justin. He looks like a mini me. If we had our pictures together, he looks like a young version of me. Not younger, it's what I used to look like. And now I keep telling him, this is what you're going to look like. Speaking of looking like, ladies, I know you're wearing scarves and hats, but us guys, we don't have to worry about that. We turn gray, we stay gray. We lose hair, we don't worry about it. I can feel for you. I understand those roots are starting to get gray and things like that, but hang in there. They'll be opening those salons up pretty soon, hopefully. Okay, another announcement. Our dear camera lady, Emerald Weish, I have her picture because she's been electing to stay away from the studio, and that's okay. Emerald is going to be 18 years old this week, so happy birthday, Emerald. She started out as a wee child here with us. And it seems, I don't know, it's over 2 years now. I remember we celebrated her sweet 16 birthday, so she's going to be 18, a senior in high school. And so we wish you have a great week and good things to come. Okay, what else we got going here? All right. We got a very nice brochure in the paper in the mail yesterday, and I don't know if you all got this or not, but this is from State Senator George Borrello, who was on the show last week, and you don't have to zoom in on that, but I'm sure you've seen it. I pointed out to you that a lot of times we see things, we think they're political, and we toss them, but this is a really, really nice go-to piece of information for COVID-19 tracker, where you can go and find out information about it, Small Business Administration loans, domestic violence assistance, mental health assistance, unemployment insurance. I mean, all the numbers are right here. So I would suggest you hang on to this. You may need it. If you don't need it, somebody you know may need it. So it's a great, quick reference, everything that you need to navigate these strange times we live in. Also, I want to point out that I have had anecdotal reports that stimulus checks have been delivered, deposited into people's checking accounts. Okay, wait, what? We have a phone call. All right, let's hear. Good morning, caller. Call back, caller. Here I built up Randy, my trusted phone operator. He lost my first caller. Oh my gosh. Where was I? Stimulus checks are coming. We've got, I've heard that some business loans have been approved, some emergency loans, and in some cases, some of those you don't have to pay back if you meet certain criteria. Unemployment money is flowing. I know all this took a while, didn't it? But imagine trying to get this to gin up the whole thing across the country, but it's working. All right, we got a caller. So good morning, caller. Hello.
Hello,
Who is this?
it's Emerald.
It's the birthday girl.
Yeah,
How are you? We miss you.
I miss you guys too.
Are you watching the show?
Yeah,
How do I look?
yeah.
Usually she's over on this side with the cameras and she's zooming in on things. How you been?
I've been good. How are you?
Okay. Getting ready for college here pretty soon, aren't you?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay. So what you been up to?
Filling out for FAFSA, getting ready for dorm rooms.
Mm-hmm. That's coming up pretty quick. So unfortunately, You haven't had school lately, right?
Right.
So how are you keeping busy? Are they sending your work home?
Yeah, I've been doing online school. We've actually been managing how to do chorus online too.
Chorus?
Yeah.
So you sing online?
Yeah, we're singing online.
Very
And I'm
cool.
also doing my voice class online too.
Good. Now, people may not know, but you also attend the Hughes Center, and you're in culinary arts. So how are you handling that?
Sometimes we get projects and stuff, like online essays do, or Google Forms.
Okay.
And so we just complete those and we're good.
Very good. Very good. So I know schools are closed till at least the 15th of May. Is there any talk about graduation yet, or anything like that?
So far, it hasn't been postponed or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I've found out so far.
So far, so good. Okay. So how are you going to spend your birthday?
We're probably gonna watch TV. Probably order takeout.
Okay.
That's all we've got so far.
So did you see that we wish you happy birthday?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So when are you coming back?
I don't know. As soon as like this calms down a little, at least.
Okay. Well, Justin's doing like triple duty here. He keeps jumping from camera to camera and stuff. So, all right. Well, Em, you have a great birthday. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for calling. You take care.
Yep. Bye.
Bye-bye. It was Emerald Weish, our camera lady, who's been absentia because of this pandemic. She's been a great contribution to the staff here. So lots of best wishes for a great birthday. Where was I? So anyway, so the system is working in some cases. Some people haven't got their money. Some people aren't eligible for this or that. I understand. But that thing that George sent to everybody's homes, that's probably a good reference to check out. While I'm talking here, could you guys reset the clock so I know how much time we have left? Thanks. We're a little discombobulated this morning for some reason. I think maybe we've got some virus going through our system. I don't know. Not that kind, computer virus. All right. So anyways, there's an example of what we can do for birthdays and anniversaries. And please, really, honestly, call in. We would love to share that with everybody. And that goes throughout the year. If you do happen to have an event or something you want to share, you always can email us, Twitter us, you can go to our Facebook page, you can contact the studio here, and people do leave us information. So let you know that. Okay, as of 8 o'clock yesterday, I've been told your dad was my source of information, but I do know that it was, I do know it was as of yesterday, New York State, when we're in public gatherings and at the masks, okay? If you haven't watched Bob Burke's, Dr. Burke's public service announcements, he goes through a variety of different masks, and he explains that you don't have to have the Darth Vader, skull mask. It can be something that's just made out of some fabric. It could be a variety of other different types of material that you can make at home or whatever. And as we learn, it's not that I am protecting myself from you, I'm protecting you from me. That's why we're wearing masks. So if we all worry about protecting the other person, then we're protected, okay? That's how this works. I do know it's a little odd walking into the supermarket and wearing a mask, but remember, still say hello, good morning. You don't have to feel odd. It'll take a little bit of time. And then if somebody posted somewhere, they said, this is the first time I've ever gone to a bank with a mask on, and they asked for money, and felt kind of a little odd about that. So anyways, it's a new day. We'll get through this, and I've been working with this as well. I have a little mask for quick and in, like a fast in and fast out, and then I have this like if I'm shopping and stuff like that. So anyways, it's all good. I want to make sure I've covered all my announcements. Oh, all right. So I do have one announcement, and let's pop that up, Jeff, number 16. Thank you for the clock, by the way. I've been watching on TV, and I know that it's been showing up a lot on Facebook, but folks, because of the lag in money, because of the time it's taking for, let's say, unemployment monies to flow, some of us are getting pinched financially, and there's maybe not a lot of food in the cupboard, all right? You need food. please let these folks help you, all right? To decrease contact and better protect us during this COVID crisis, the food pantry of the Salvation Army up in Dunkirk will deliver to homes. Don't go there. They're going to bring food to you. And this is how you, order food. In northern Chautauqua County, call the Salvation Army of Dunkirk, 366-3701, between the hours of 9 a.m. and noon. All right, 366-3701. Their receptionist will sign you up with an approximate appointment time for the same day. They have volunteer drivers delivering at a variety of times throughout the day. Your appointment time will depend upon the next available slot as well. As food supply and food packaging, please be patient. Do not make contact with the driver. As much as we want to give him a hug or a high five, keep your distance. He or she will drop off food to your doorstep and ring your doorbell or knock, okay? Don't go hungry, okay? Don't go hungry. There's food available. As far as I know, we're holding pretty well in our food banks. And so that's an announcement I wanted to share with you and brought back from last week. So the Salvation Army is doing their job. I know there's other food banks in various communities. I know there's one in Westfield, in Ripley. I'm sure there's one in Jamestown area and up north and so forth. Okay, I'll share a little story with you on this. Is when I was growing up, both my parents worked, and Mom worked as an office manager. Dad worked, I think, for Chevrolet at the time, General Motors. Dad got laid off in the 50s. It was sort of like a short-term depression at that time, recession, something like that. And I remember we went to the armory up in Buffalo. That was where they distributed food, so it would be like the food bank. And we got food, and we needed that food. That's what kind of kept our household going. So don't be shy. It's not an embarrassment. Right now, a lot of people are out of work, and there's food available. So get out there and get your food. Stay healthy, all right? So right now, we're going to take a public service announcement from my studio director, and we're going to be right back with the rest of the show. Stay tuned. Hamels, and we have another Chautauqua Strong moment. Today we have Shelley Wells, RN, who's a public health planner, who has a really nice supportive message for all of us during this time. Shelley?
Thank you, Doc. I want to talk about having a purpose. What makes you get up in the morning? And we all need that to live a healthy life. And in the last week or so, I think a lot of us have lost that purpose. Perhaps we've not been able to go to work. We're not going to the groups that we usually go to. And those things are what give us purpose. So we need to find a purpose and a reason that we get up in the morning. And as hard as change is, these are the times that we need to find purpose in other things. So if you have a family member who's older or younger, call them, video a message for them, take a picture and send it to them. If you have an animal, that animal needs you. Find what your purpose is to get up in the morning. Maybe it's to become healthier in the next few weeks. So you're home, find some healthy resources. Maybe investigate quit smoking. But find a purpose that's going to help you live longer, live healthier, and get through these trying times.
Okay, thanks, Shelley Wells, public health planner from the county. Let's all keep in mind, let's stay strong, Chautauqua County. I'm Doc Hamels. We'll see you next time. Okay, good information, some thoughts to think about. And when we were sitting watching the public service announcement, I said to my guest, this is going to fit into right what we're talking about. For many of you that are at home, which are most of us, we are going to the refrigerator maybe a little bit more often. We're having a little snack here and there. We're sitting watching copious amounts of television and public press conferences and worrying and just whatever. There's some alternatives to all that. And so we're going to explore that today with our guest, Mark and Tonya Wilson from Wilson Endurance Sports. So welcome back, guys.
Thank you.
Tonya, I can't remember. Have you been on the show itself?
No.
You were always over
Always
there.
watching.
Tonya and I, we have history. We go back a long time ago when I was writing a column for Silver Magazine, and she contacted me and asked me to come out and do an article on the Randolph Revitalization Program. I think that's what it was called, or it was something along those. It was up with Randolph, and it was a great time, and we got to know each other there. And the next thing I know, you're married to Mark.
Married, yes.
But you guys knew each other years ago, right? Isn't that how the story goes? It's like one of those little Hallmark Christmas movies.
Right in this building. In this building, we met in kindergarten.
You met in this building right
In this
here.
building, right down
Happy
the hall.
anniversary.
Thank you.
In kindergarten, you
In
said?
kindergarten. We have
Wow.
our kindergarten class picture up in our house.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. So you've been married, what, a couple years now? I can't remember.
4.
Oh, it's been 4 years.
4 years.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow, that's great.
Yes.
So you've heard me making some comments about this pandemic and about being cooped up and pants not fitting quite as well as they did back in November. And every time I put on my jeans, I go, oh, please, please fit. But for me, it's a little different because I'm kind of used to being holed up because of retirement. But for a lot of people, it's not a lot of fun right now. So, guys, what are you doing to stay active? And tell us a little bit about your business. So, wherever you want to go with that.
Right. Well, we started the company in 2017, and we started expanding our events dramatically.
Yeah.
And we went from 4 or 5 events up to 22 all across New York State,
Oh,
and then
moly.
one in Connecticut as well. So, and that includes running events and triathlons and duathlons, and it's been going beautifully, really, really great. The public has embraced our company very well. The addition, I've been coaching and doing events for over 20 years, and adding Tonya to everything now has just helped it explode. Finally, she handles all of our marketing and the
So
administration.
it's all your fault.
It definitely is. It is definitely her fault. Everybody needs a good agent, right? So.
Yeah, well, that's definite. That's definite.
Yeah, so it's been going extremely well, and it's still going well. We're going to hold our events here in Chautauqua County, which include the Southern Tier Triathlon Club, beginning in June, God willing, right, with all that's going on in the world. And also we have an event in Findlay Lake, August 1st. We have our Amish Country Running Festival in September. We have the Casadega Man, which is what's called known as a half Ironman event, which is a 1.2 mile swim, 56 mile bike ride, and a 13.1 mile run. Should be right up your alley.
Do you have like a 1/8 man? us guys ride bikes. We probably could find a way to do the 56 miles, but I don't know about the rest of it.
Well, you could do that as a relay team. That's the,
Right.
that's the great part.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll do the bike ride. Randy can do the swim, and Jeff, what do you want?
See?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we do encourage that. We encourage teams to get
Absolutely.
involved, because that actually is a way to get people moving in a direction that they wouldn't have thought of previously. Not everyone has to do an entire triathlon themselves, but if you like the biking, you find a couple of friends to help you out with the other parts. And that'll be occurring on Labor Day weekend, the Saturday of Labor Day weekend in Casadega, of course. We have several other events. We have a kids triathlon in Casadega as well. And have I missed any in there?
No.
Well,
I don't
if
think
you
I
did,
missed
we'll
any. I
come
think
back to it.
Right.
We'll come back to it. But the bottom line is that our job is to help people move and keep moving. And not just to move to be an awesome athlete, although sometimes that happens, but to just have a better life, to be happier. Movement is a human activity. It's important. It's been there from the beginning of time, and we should continue that and not stop that. Riding your bike is an incredible gift that we have. This county is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this before when we were
Right,
on
right,
here.
yeah.
And so to get to ride outside and to explore the county is just wonderful. And running is, we did that as cavemen and so on. We used to hunt the herds as they moved across the countryside, and that is innate. And we are endurance athletes, all of us. Our habits, however, dictate these days with computers and the modern life. It's slowed everything down, and so we want to help people get back to that. And many people get discouraged or intimidated by the sport of triathlons. Oh my gosh, triathletes, I can never be that. Look, my job is not to even make people skinny or make them a triathlete. That's not my job. I want people to be happy and healthy. And part of that is just moving. If you want to walk every day, you can. There's no one stopping you from taking a walk. Right now, there's not, right? I mean, the COVID situation has actually gotten better, even in New York State. The death rate is going down. People are paying attention, staying more indoors, or not going to work where they're going to spread the disease.
But Dr. Burke and others have said, get out and walk.
Absolutely.
And if you're uncomfortable, wear your mask. But you don't have to have it as long as you're not in contact with groups of people, right?
Correct. In fact, Tonya started a club in Cassadaga called the Cassadaga Walkers. And every day at 10 a.m., people meet at our house and they walk around the lake. It's a perfect 5K.
Every day?
Every day. Yes.
5K is what, 3.5 miles?
3.1.
Oh, that's not so bad. That's good.
It's perfect.
Weather, regardless of the weather?
There's been a couple days when we've decided to stay inside. Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Yeah. So it's not impossible. It can be
So,
done.
Mark, I know you have kind of like an interesting history before you got to this point. You've done Ironman competitions, right?
I have done 10 Ironmans, and please don't hold that against me.
Well, and Bob Burke, Dr. Burke's done Ironman.
He's done Ironmans as well.
Do you do them at the same time with him or different locations?
I don't think we have ever completed. He did Lake Placid one year. I don't think that year I was in that event, but I did Lake Placid 8 times and 2 other Ironmans around the world. So, yeah. It's really not for everyone. And
no, I'm good with that. Justin, you good with that? I'm good with that.
Truly, the thing that happens about triathlon is that you get involved in the sport. You start swimming a little bit, you start biking, and you do a little running, and you do a couple of triathlons. And the thing about the sport is it's incredibly addictive because it gives you such great health. It really actually does, and you start feeling better, and you start to dream about the possibility of going a little bit longer. And then you ride 70 miles, and then you ride 90 miles. And, right? Have you ever done the 100-miler for Roswell?
Oh, no.
No, okay, but
no, but Galen does. That's part of that's.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah. So,
no, but we, in all honesty, we've done. Randy and I think we did 44 first year, and 30 and 34 last year, and we were planning to do 45. We don't know what's going to happen yet. But yeah, so we stretch a little bit.
Well, and you know what? The 44 miles, guess what? That's around Chautauqua Lake. And we actually work with an event called the Grand Fondo from starting from Webb's in Mayville, and you go all the way around the lake clockwise. And actually, you can do it longer too. You can go to Westfield and then come back and then go all the way around the lake.
That's good.
You're right. 44 miles is good. 60 would be going to Westfield. But the thing is, you can actually do that. You could actually do that.
Thank you.
Right. I would love to do it with you. Right, Tonya? Well, Tonya and I would love to do that with you. We'll go for a ride around the lake.
I'll go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not? See, that's what it is.
Late summer, and when I get ready.
Fine. Yeah, late summer. Well, September even. Beautiful time to go around the lake.
Let me jump in. Okay. When I retired, I thought I'll stay healthy and all that. Well, what happens? You get into a pattern of non-activity, whatever that means. And I mean, and I'm a pretty busy guy most of the time, but I was becoming more sedentary at the desk and doing more whatever. So then I decided I got to do something. So I started hiking. So I was hiking everywhere, and I was putting on whatever. And then I realized this is getting really boring. So then I thought, I come from a line of bike riders. My uncle used to be a semi-professional bike rider. I mean, my godfather. He would go to New York City and back on a weekend. I mean, these guys were nuts. And I still have pictures of that. That kind of inspired me. I said, well, I should ride a bike. And when growing up in the city of Buffalo, my parents were very protective, and they would never let us have a bike.
Sure.
What kid doesn't have a bike and a dog? They've passed now, so I'm very open about this. I'm finally getting these repressed feelings out. But anyways, so I never rode a bike on my own. I always stole somebody's bike or borrowed it. Let me try this bike out. Well, anyways, so here I am in my 60s riding a bike for the first real time, and I remember calling my dad up, and I said, Dad, I went like 2 miles today. It was like incredible, and I could smell the flowers, and the cars are whizzing by me, but I felt like I was alive. And he said, well, good for you. And then the next couple of days, I'd say, Dad, I went like 4 miles. I went to like the edge of town. I've never been to the edge of town. And then eventually I was going 15 miles a day and things like that. So it's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
You can stretch yourself. And then you get to a certain point, you're saying, yeah, I'm good. If I
Right.
do 10, 12 miles, 15 miles, I'm good. Tomorrow, maybe I'll ride to Northeast Pennsylvania and back. And people say, you rode all the way to Northeast Pennsylvania and back?
Right.
I go, yeah, it's no big deal. But it's the same thing. They go, you did what? And after a while, you say you ride around the lake. It's like, well, so what? It's no big deal. Because you build up to it, right?
Absolutely, yeah. There's tremendous joy that comes from knowing that your body did that.
Yeah.
And feeling what it feels like to have your body do it.
And after a while, when you don't, like during wintertime, my body's going like, I got to get out and do something. So I got to go walk or whatever because your
Exactly.
muscles are like, and
Exactly.
right as we speak, I'm ready to hop on my bike because I want to go, but yes,
I'm with you. And then there's the secondary part that is great about getting outdoors and hiking or biking or running or walking, whatever you want. Nature. Nature is one of the greatest teachers of all time, if not the best. Everything you need to learn is right there. Animals.
Yeah.
We see beavers, muskrats, eagles, loons, geese, snow geese. This is just at our lake at Casadega.
Yeah.
I mean, tremendous beauty this morning. All the snow on the trees, absolute beautiful. And that's the thing. It's like get out in nature. There's something I share with people. It's one thing to read about eating a pizza, and it's the other thing to actually eat pizza, right? It's the same thing with nature. It's great to watch nature shows, truly beautiful, and the knowledge you could learn on the BBC.
Yeah.
I mean, those, the Blue Planet and so on, incredible knowledge and beauty. But actually going to Africa and seeing a lion, now that would be cool, right? I mean, that would be really incredible. To watch a lion actually get a gazelle, that would be something. So there's that difference. And if you experience it firsthand, for instance, we got to see ducks mating the other day on our walk. I had never seen that before, and let me just tell you, it's one violent act right there. There were like 3 ducks attacking this poor girl, and we're like, wow, is that really how it works? But we discovered it was true, but you would never have known that.
Yeah.
And there's things in nature that are just really gorgeous.
I came up on a deer one day riding, and I stopped. It stopped, and we just had this kind of showdown. I'm going, I don't know what to do next, because 'cause you don't want to interfere, and you're like, I don't want to get attacked by a deer on a bike or something like that. But you're right, and I'm outdoors a lot. I live in the sticks, and I love being outdoors, and just like you say, all of a sudden you see a bird go overhead, and it's an eagle, it's a whatever, and ducks landing on a pond, or I keep track of birds constantly. I mean, there's 26 varieties of birds that come to our feeder, in case you wanted to know.
There's more.
And I have a log, and I think in a couple of weeks, rose-breasted grosbeak should be back, right? And I think it's like the first part of May, and I'm waiting. I just put up a martin house, sure, right before those gale force winds, so I had to bring it back down.
I know, right.
But yeah, but you're right, and and like I was saying, when you're riding, you don't realize like certain weeds have a fragrance that are really, like mustard seed has a great fragrance.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think so, but when you're on a bike, you get all that. Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of birds, I'll let Tonya speak about this. She loves birds so much, and she's turned me on to birds. And as a result, since we've got all this time on our hands to do things, I started making bird feeders.
Oh, sure.
And bird houses and so on. I'm like, I don't know anything about birds, but now I'm learning all of this, and she's the one that turned me on to it. Tell them about all the birds we got.
What kind of birds are you working with?
Oh, well, we've got lots of different woodpeckers.
Yeah.
The red-bellied and the downy and the hairy.
Had the pileated yet?
We don't in
Great
our
big
yard.
one. Oh, we have
on
one
our
that shows
walks,
us-
we've seen them.
Great big
yeah.
one. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
They're
on the other
24
side of
inches
the lake.
tall.
I know.
I know.
They come to
I
our
know.
feeder once in a while.
Huge.
Yeah. Of course, we've named all of our birds, which is kind of scary. So no.
Woody 1, Woody 2, Woody 3.
Right. No, and we've got the cardinals and the goldfinch. And
Chickadees and
Chickadees, yeah. We just love it.
Juncos.
Yeah,
We have 'em all.
juncos. I
Yeah.
know. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and then like I said, that I have a log that I used to keep every week what birds showed up, and every year I would check the dates, and they were within a couple
Pretty
days of
close.
each other. It's really pretty
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's how about peepers? We haven't talked about that. At
Yes.
night you're walking, and oh my!
I think a couple of weeks ago, they really started to kick in, and it's just such a great sound.
It's a
There's
chorus.
something about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Well, the loons yesterday.
Oh,
We heard the
See, we don't
loons.
have loons where I live.
Oh,
Oh, it's just amazing. And we have
Yeah.
so many on the lake.
Yeah,
right
about
now.
4 or 5 right now.
Yeah, but they're just beautiful.
We have morning doves that keep waking me up in the morning.
Yes.
Okay, so how did you actually get involved with this business to start with?
Wow, it was amazing. I was involved in music. We've talked about this
Yeah.
previously on a previous show. And I missed athletics tremendously at the time. And so I got involved in running again. And so I started running 5Ks and 10Ks and half marathons. And then I started running marathons. And now over 50 marathons later,
Oh my
you
gosh.
know, I feel like I've done enough of those. I was admiring triathletes. They were so fit, even compared to the runners. And they didn't just look fit, they looked very strong to me, and they were balanced. Their muscles were toned, and they were ripped, and they were crazy, you know. And I remember when I was 22 in college, my landlord at the time said, "Oh, our son is here." He was 42 at the time. He's done the Hawaii Ironman. And I was like, "Oh my God, that's for idiots, you know, that's for crazy people," you know. And I said to him, "I'll never do that," you know, because at the time I was running 10Ks in
Yeah.
college, right? And it was only 7 years later that I did my first Ironman in 1999 in Lake Placid, which was the first continental Ironman in America. And in 1995, I just decided I wanted to start doing triathlon. And that year, 97, yeah, it was 1997, I did my New York City Marathon, 95, 96, and 97, I did my first half Ironman triathlon. And in the Hudson Valley, in the Hudson River, and I didn't even wear a wetsuit, which was insane. But that's a 1.2 mile swim, 56 mile bike, and a 13.1 mile run. And at the time, I think I came in 300th out of 320 people. I mean, it was pretty humiliating, right? For a guy who
No,
likes
I'm good with
sports.
that. I'm good with that. That's okay. I'm okay with that.
But a couple of things happened. I was tinkering with different diets at the time.
Okay.
And at that time, I was tinkering with this thing called Fit for Life. Do you remember Marilyn and Diamond? What was the husband's name at the time? Well, anyways, it was Diamonds. And
There's so many different
yeah,
diets.
it was a major successful diet at the time. And it was mostly heading people towards vegetarianism and so on, and eating less meat, more vegetables and so on. I did it, and I started doing it. And I'm 6'1", and I saw a picture of myself after that event, and someone showed it to me, and I said, "Who's that?" And they said, "Mark, that's you." I weighed 144 pounds. That's pretty skinny. I weigh about 185 right now.
140, I was
So-
a freshman year in high school.
Yeah, exactly. It was extremely thin. It scared me.
Yeah.
And what I realized at that time is that certain diets aren't for everyone. And we'll get to food here in a moment when
Yeah.
we start talking about what people should be doing with their diet. And so then I changed my diet and started putting meats back in. And I happen to be a type O blood type. That's a whole other discussion. But meat is good for type O blood types because of the acidity in our blood system. So I started adding more meat back in, and I gained 22 pounds in 2 weeks.
What?
Yeah, amazing, right? So certain frames, body frames, are made to be certain sizes. And I've learned that over 20 years of coaching people and so on. And so I don't get upset about where they're coming from. I just take a look at what's there, and do they look healthy, are they happy, and so on. And to answer your question, this is why I got involved in the sport. I wanted to learn about my body and about what effects exercise had on me, what effects mental preparation had on me, and emotional and psychological, and of course the dietary. And it just slingshot me into the sport. And the next year in that same race, I came in 76th.
Wow, that's
So I was
quite a
like,
jump.
oh yeah, right. So I was eating better, had more body to burn, got stronger from the change in the diet, and then the following year I came in 10th.
Wow.
So I made this major jump, and then I did my first Ironman in Lake Placid. So I learned about the sport very fast because I just went out every day and rode 50 miles. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Again, it's just,
Yeah.
you start to think about what are my limits, and where was that boundary? The town
Yeah.
line, the next town,
Exactly, yeah.
7 towns away.
Yeah.
Tonya and I went on a ride in Casadega for the Southern Tier Tri Club, and she rode the 13-mile course one day a couple summers ago, and it was excruciating for her.
Yeah. It is when you first do it. Yeah.
Very hard, 13 miles, hard, hilly, This area is very hilly. And then last year, we went on the 28-mile loop, which is half of the route of the Cassadaga Man, so double that, 56 miles. She rode that one, and of course, that was excruciating. But the last hill we had to go up was part of the part of the Southern Tier Tri-Club loop, which she didn't think was difficult at all. Evolution.
Yeah, 60. I don't know. I mean, Route 60.
Route 60 from
Leona up to Cassadaga. It's all a hill.
Yeah.
Yeah. So usually that's like awful.
Yeah.
But then we went and we did Kelly Hill Road.
Right, which is 1 mile up, 8% grade. It's pretty hard.
Yeah, it was hard, but I did it.
I experienced similar things. Things that I used to walk up, now I grind up. It's still tough, but I do it. But it's that mental thing too, says don't stop. Don't stop.
Right.
Keep going.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the other thing for people like me, I'm not a racer. I did one triathlon last year, actually here in Mayville. I did my first full sprint triathlon. But it's not about racing for everybody.
It's not about
Some
winning.
people don't want
No,
to
it's
race.
about
Right,
finishing, right?
absolutely. So if I never race again, I'm okay with that. But I still like to swim and I still love to ride my bike. And I'll probably never love to run. But I've proven to myself that I can do it, and that's the important thing.
People are listening right now. They're going to say, I haven't done any of that stuff in years. So Mark, how did they get started?
Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
The thing is just literally one step at a time. One step. And I wish I could be at everyone's house and helping them begin walking, because I truly want to help people like that. I know they can do it. And once you get started, Tonia's done that, other people have done that, and one of the things that I agreed with her on when we got together again was she said, "Oh, coach me. I want you to be my coach." I said, "No way. No way do I want to be your coach. I want to be a living model, and if I'm a good model of it, you will catch on." And certainly she has. I mean, she goes out and walks. I'm on the phone coaching clients, and she goes out and walks. And so people, if they just walk around your block, just your block. We have people in our neighborhood right now. This gentleman hurt his back recently, and he can't run anymore. And that used to be a love of his. But now he walks. He has those ski poles.
I have those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he walks, and our block is half a mile from one loop. And he does one loop, and then after a while, we saw him doing 2 loops, or we'd see him at the end of the day. He'll do a morning loop and an evening loop. And he is so happy now. Every time I see him walking, I'm like, "How you doing, Dennis?" He goes, "Hey, Mark, I'm walking, you're doing it." He's happy. And ride your bike. There are at Hollyloft, which is a sponsor for us, by the way, right there in Lakewood, they have tons of used bikes that they just got that were confiscated from the police, that they found that had been stolen and no one claimed them. They donated them all back to Hollyloft. You could get a used bike for $50 or more, whatever you want, your level.
Sure, different levels.
Ride around your neighborhood. And right around Cassadaga Lake, not Chautauqua Lake if you're just beginning, but there are pathways, there are walkways right on Chautauqua Lake, right from Mayville, the rail trail.
Yes, and a lot of your towns are now putting in bike paths
Right.
on the roads that are specifically your lane, which makes me happy.
Yep.
And we were talking about that, safety. Let's talk about that a little bit, Tonya. You were going to talk about that.
Safety. I think that's the thing that's most important to me, is that we get to be outside and enjoying the nature and enjoying being fit. But there seems to be this disconnect between people that are out in a pedestrian type manner and people that are in their vehicles. Once they get in their vehicle, they forget that we are people out there riding, and they fly by and they don't, all it takes is just to slow down just a little and
Or
move
give
over.
wide berth.
Just move over,
Yeah.
They don't have to go all the way to the other side, but just give us some space. If you are out there on the side of the road and you have a car hurtling at you, at anything above 30 miles an hour, actually, it's very frightening. So that's one of the things that I think about. I have seen my husband get hit by a car on his bike. I was right behind him when he got hit, and that will never leave me. I make it sound like it's terrible. He's the one that got hit. I'm the one that still has the nightmares about it.
Yeah.
He doesn't even probably remember most of it. You saw the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
where it's at.
Right.
I get it.
And it was just a distracted driver. She was not paying attention at all. She actually crossed over an entire lane and actually ended up going into what would have been the ditch and hit him with the front passenger side of her car. That's how far she went over. And as he was doing turns up in the air, hurtling towards the earth, all it takes is people just to pay attention.
Yeah.
And in defense of drivers too, we have to do our part.
Yes.
We got to stay where we're supposed to stay.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We got to wear bright clothing, have lights and things like that. Whether you're walking too.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, I don't know how many times I see people walking on the wrong side of the road.
Correct.
Right.
They should be facing traffic,
Yeah.
not with traffic when you're walking.
Right.
Bright clothes, flashlight. I don't know how many times I see people in the pitch dark. I don't see them, and it scares the wits out of me. And the bicyclists also stay with traffic, not the other way.
Correct.
Unless you got a short stretch you got to do, but
Right.
Right.
mind the rules.
Yes.
Certainly.
Be
Yes.
safe. So, yeah.
And we are in a very rural area. A lot of our roads don't have shoulders, or if they do have shoulders, they're very, very narrow. They aren't maintained like a road is, so there's holes and
Well, glass and nails.
and, right, and then all the
kinds of junk.
debris. And sometimes it's safer, obviously, for the cyclist to be in the road. We have the right to be in the road. The
Yes.
road is for any type of traffic, which includes cycling. And so people have to understand that if we are riding in the road, there's probably a reason for it. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
So everybody do their part, but yeah,
Absolutely.
Exactly.
and especially now spring, eventually we'll be here,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we'll be out there on our bikes, right?
And
Yes.
hopefully, if anything of this this whole COVID pandemic has taught people, hopefully, to just be a little kinder and a little more thoughtful of others.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, good words to think about, everybody. All right, folks, you're watching Chautauqua Sunrise. My guests are Mark and Tonya Wilson from Wilson Endurance Sports. If you have a question or a comment, give us a call at 753-5225. Don't be shy. I hear the phone ringing, but obviously it's not for me. All right, Mark, ages. I mean,
Yes.
What's a good age, or what a limit? When we say age, is there any limitations or things we should know?
No, not really. And you know what? Here's the biggest limiter. The biggest limiter of anything is, guess what? Your mind.
Yeah.
Your mind. It's simple as that. And certainly I've discovered as I've been aging, it starts to hurt. Things hurt, And things don't work like they used to 20 years ago, 10 years, 5 years ago even. And, I finally, every decade that goes by or every 5 years that goes by, it's a whole new body.
Yeah.
And so you have to make adjustments. It doesn't mean you stop. You just make adjustments. For anybody, whether you've got parts that work or don't work, you just do the best you can. I mean, that's all that is expected.
And it's okay.
It is okay. We've got a friend who is an animal walker. I mean, not literally, she doesn't walk dogs. What I mean is, she had her hips replaced. And she walks every day, 6 to 8 miles.
Excellent.
She's a machine.
Yeah.
And you know what it is? It's her mind. She is so tough. She's tough as nails. And it's not like she doesn't come off like that at all. When I first met her, she's very kind, very gentle, and so on. But boy, is she tough. It doesn't matter what the weather is. She just gets different gear on, and she heads out there, and she keeps walking every day. And that's amazing. And we'll see her for another 20 years out there doing it, not maybe 30 years.
Good.
And that's really what it is.
All right, let's hold that thought. We have a caller.
Okay.
Morning, caller.
Well, good morning,
Linda,
Mark,
where you
Tonya,
been?
and Mark. This is Linda Spalding.
I haven't-
How are you?
Where have you been? We haven't
I'm
talked
good.
to you in ages.
Well, I didn't. Last week I'm sorry I didn't get to the phone in time, and I didn't even think you were going to be telecasting with this endemic scare. But I'm so glad to see a live show.
We are essential.
You
right.
certainly are. You certainly are. It's great to hear about health and fitness and walking competitions and that sort of thing. I walk every day for at least 1 hour in all kinds of weather.
Well, good for you, Linda.
And would you like to know why?
Sure.
I have to. I have 2 dogs.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So they get me out in the worst of weather, and I really walk, and it's a wonderful exercise.
Good for
Yeah.
you.
And I really believe in walking and running and swimming. It's very important for your system, for your state of being, the way you think about things. It releases endorphins that you feel better.
Right.
You're healthier.
You are absolutely right, Lynn.
I wanted to mention too that the Office for the Aging
Okay.
has walked for the Alzheimer's
Really?
fundraiser. Yeah, they do it every fall.
I know what you're
not
talking
the Office for Aging participates.
Yes,
in it.
yes.
But
I know what you're talking about.
It's really a
Alzheimer walk.
statewide program.
Yeah, that's right.
The Alzheimer's Association. But the Office for the Aging does it, and Meals on Wheels, all the different agencies in the area have competition for it and raise money and do walking. They do it in the fall. And also, the Chautauqua Institution has on Old First Night, they have a walk-run competition the first Saturday in August.
Well, hopefully those will all be up and running, right?
All we can do is hope
Yep.
for the best.
Okay.
I see where Chautauqua County has the lowest rate of the entire state for the coronavirus infections. I think it's 28, isn't
Keep
it?
the mask going, people. Keep
Yeah.
the social distancing.
Yeah, people have to be careful. So it's wonderful to hear about these great things that are so good for you.
Yeah, good. So how you been doing otherwise, okay?
Well, I've been working from home, and I've been very careful about things. I've been wearing gloves for over a month now. When I go anywhere, I wear the plastic gloves that you can throw out, and I've got my mask ready, so I'm all set.
Hand sanitizer, ready to go.
Oh yeah, I wash my hands quite a bit. In fact, my hands are rough from washing them so much.
Okay. All right, well, thanks for calling in. Anything else we should know from the office these days?
Well, I am working from home. I am calling people up. I am lining people up for jobs. I get my messages immediately, so people should still call me, and I will give them my direct line now because it will come right to me.
Okay.
It's 753
753
4856.
4856. 753 4856. Okay.
It's my direct line at the Office for the Aging, and then I'll get the message, and then I'll call people. So I am getting people ready, and as soon as we can start getting back and doing things, I'm going to be putting people on. I have lots of slots and jobs ready.
Well, you be sure to call in and let me know what those are when the time comes, right?
Yes, I will. I
Okay.
definitely will.
All right, Lynn. Well, enjoy maybe spring this weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
It's really nice out. Stay healthy and have a great weekend and week.
All right, thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
We left off with pain.
Yes.
And what do you recommend for people when they're out in the first stages of their activity and they're experiencing pain?
Well, they're definitely going to experience it the second and third day into the new exercise. There's a delayed response. At first, you may think, "Oh, there's nothing happening. I
this is
feel
good."
great."
Yeah.
And warning, never go too far the first couple of times out because you're going to be sore. There are great products out there. One of our sponsors is Dr. Hoy's cream. It's like a Bengay type of thing, and it's very warm, very wonderful. They have an arnica cream as well, and it was great. Tonya put some on my back last night. I was splitting wood, and I got a little sore, and she put it on a spot. It worked great, So there's lots of options out there for you. Icy Hot, other kinds of products that locally you can grab. Keep parts warm. At first, if let's say you sprain your ankle or something and it starts to swell, ice is the most important thing right away. Get the swelling down. Once the swelling goes down, then what you want is heat from there on out because you want circulation. All right. If you don't have circulation, things don't function well. So you want to get fresh blood in there. Get the swelling down with the ice right away. Elevate, of course, instantly. Don't wait on that. And then if you have to move around a little bit, you want to take your walk, wrap it up lightly, not too tight, but really light, and put some warming cream on there and keep it on throughout the day, and even take a nice warm bath and keep the circulation going.
Okay. Thank you for that advice. I use like a BioFree sometimes,
Yes.
or I've been taking this chondroitin
Sure. Yep.
for bone and tissue and that sort of thing.
Very good.
All right. I understand we have some photos. Jeff, you want to run those pictures that we've got? Okay. Okay, so we have some photos, and we're going to pop those up in a second. So there we go. So we want to talk about that?
Yeah, Cassadaga Man, again, in Cassadaga. It's the inaugural event. It will occur Saturday, September 5th, which is the Saturday of Labor Day weekend. We anticipate that we'll be up and running, no problem, with all the great results we're getting here in Chautauqua County. It's what's known as a half Ironman. As you can see, the numbers there: 1.2 mile swim, 56 mile bike, and 13.1 mile run. And you can do it as a team.
Right.
So it's not too late. You can get ready. You could do it.
Okay.
Great event.
Okay. Could that be a walk run?
Sure, of course.
Okay.
Yes.
Could that be, forget the swim part, I don't know.
Well, the other thing, our events don't have any cutoff times.
Okay.
Right.
So-
So you can take your time.
Take your time.
Take
We'll
your
be
time.
there. We'll be there at the end.
Yep.
1.2.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. What do we got here? Oh.
Finley Lake Triathlon Festival, fantastic new event. We had our inaugural event last year. A beautiful, beautiful lake. If you've never been there, everybody please go. Take a visit.
Yeah, it's
It's a
pretty.
great
It's very
town.
nice.
Our own candle company is the sponsor of the event. So is the Sporting Goods from town. It's going to be on Saturday, August 1st. Again, we anticipate this event being able to be run with the coronavirus, again, doing so well in our neck of the woods.
People may be wondering, like, is there a cost involved? And if so, what are the costs for these things?
Well, we start registration out low. $65 was what it has been. I think now we are at $80 for
Okay.
Finley Lake, and that includes food at post race. We have finisher medals. We have T-shirts, again provided by our sponsors, which that's another whole topic because of what's happening in the world right now with small businesses.
One of the sponsors includes Southern Tier
Yeah.
Brewing Company.
Sure.
Yeah, that's our big.
Sure.
But yeah, and then there's different costs associated if you're a relay team. So
I love the logo. I see the bike, the race, foot race or riding, and then swimming.
Yeah.
At first I thought that was Bigfoot.
Katrina Usher Designs.
There you go.
Local girl.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one too.
Yes.
What's this one?
Southern Tier Triathlon Club, we created this because this area I felt was a really great hub for the sport of triathlon, because you've got Buffalo Tri Club, you got Erie Tri Club, Rochester Tri Club, and there was nothing here, so I thought this is a perfect time and opportunity to create this right here in Casanega. It's a sprint triathlon on Wednesday evenings beginning in June, and we anticipate this to be able to be run as well, because it's a small group of athletes, usually about 50 people or less, and it's a great midweek race. It doesn't get in the way of your events on the weekends. Of course, there may not be a lot of events anyways, but we do training nights as well. Every Monday night we have open water swimming. I keep inviting you. I'd love to have you over there. I'll teach you how to swim.
I know the basics. It's just
Good.
I have a history with water.
Most people do, by the way. Most people have history with water. It's a very scary, place to be. You can get afraid of the darkness of the open water space that's around you.
Right.
And so what we do is we give everyone a personal swim buoy,
Okay.
and you can just hold on to it and sit there. And it's the thing that people never get is viewing from the lake out and seeing the land from the lake. It's so lovely.
Mark, we have less
Yes.
than a minute, so what was this one?
One of our greatest events of all time, Amish Country Running Festival in East Randolph. Lovely. The East Randolph Methodist Church is a great supporter for us. They provide food and so on. You can do anything from the mile all the way to the marathon, 5K, 10K, half marathon, and marathon, all on one day. That is going to be Saturday, September 26th. Going to be a great time. Love to see you there.
Mark, people are watching, they're listening, they're thinking about this. Wilson Endurance Sports, great logo there. How do they get a hold of you if they want to talk more about this? What do they got to do?
All they have to
Oh,
do
that's a
is...
great picture.
That's us.
So how do they get a hold of you?
CoachMarkWilson.com.
Mark Wilson, Coach.
CoachMarkWilson.com.
So there's no phone number. It's a website.
I'll give my phone number too,
Go for it.
914
914
466
466
9214. That's my cell.
9214. Or go to CoachMarkWilson.com.
You got it. Thank
How's
you
that for
so
timing?
much. Thank you.
That's
All right, folks. There you have it. We have local people that will get you out and moving. There's no reason why you can't figure this out. I'm doing it. You do it. They do it. Let's all do it. So hopefully this will give you some ideas about getting out during this pandemic time. It doesn't have to be keeping you in the house. And thanks for coming by once again. I wish you great success this season. I
Thank you.
think these events happen and everybody gets out there and enjoys the outdoors.
Thank you.
We're going to do this again next Saturday mornings. Come back and we'll talk to you then. So have a great weekend. Wear your mask. Do what you got to do. Stay healthy. Stay safe. I'm Doc Hamels. See you next time. Bye-bye.